Hey guys, Boris Lassman, BK Forex. Welcome to our Forex data techniques for 6/5/13. As always, trading foreign exchange on margin carries high level risk and not suitable for all investors. The high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. I ask you to read this disclaimer very carefully, understand all risks associated with trading on margin, and you should be aware of all risks associated with trading on margin and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Well, the story today is that 3,100 still caps for the euro dollar. We had a spike out a little bit earlier in Asia session. That is the second time already in 2 days, actually almost the third time in 3 days, where the 31 just simply fails as a test. But we are consolidating. We seem to be basically holding this 3050, 3100 range as the battle between the bulls and the bears continues. A takeout of the 3110s really does open up a much wider and deeper run, perhaps all the way, certainly 3150 as the initial resistance, and then after that 32, 3250. We still continue to look relatively constructive because the lows are higher. We're still holding this 3050 support level. Basically, the euro really doesn't turn neutral to 3000 and turn negative to 2950. So as long as we can sort of consolidate the lows here and the buyers continue to show up underneath the 3050 level, the bias in the euro remains slightly to the upside, but we do need to have a breakout above this level. The fact that we've been capped for 3 times is troubling because it means we're just not getting enough momentum to rally through the intermediate term resistance here that you're seeing. The yen, on the other hand, just basically seesawing with the Nikkei. We ran through the 100, then ran right back down below, starting to consolidate. Basically, the yen now is sort of in this consolidation phase with 100 as the equilibrium, 101 is the resistance to the upside, 99 as a support to the downside. That's the ranges. Tremendous amount of volatility in between. It's just a seesaw battle. A very, very tough trade to make on an intraday basis. If you're long-term positioning, it still looks negative in the sense that the highs have not been broken. Basically, until 101 gets broken to the upside, the bias in the yen remains negative. But you, of course, have this support at 99. And a true negative break would be a break below 99 all the way out to 9500. That would obviously scare a lot of the longs, and it would create a lot of continuation for the downside move. Cable looking much better. We had a good, strong PMI services. This is the third PMI data today. They came out positive. We're trading pretty much near the highs of the day. It's got a spike out. I think what was the high here? This is 53.76 is the high on cable. So it needs to clear that level. But if it clears that level, 54 really comes into view because this is essentially, if you look at this, relatively longer term resistance. We can clear this 54. And of course, beyond that, really comes into view. So it might be able to chew up all of those offers as the day progresses. If we get positive bid on cable, definitely looks the strongest of all the high beta currencies. Aussie, on the other hand, just diving after weak Australian GDP. Still a lot of very negative resistance. Basically, the whole rally to 9,800 got completely unwound. We're back to the lows. 95.25 is the actual low. So it's going to be interesting to see just how much support we have here. This is a triple bottom support for now. And Aussie could find bids right around here at 95s as bargain hunters come in. But it's not out of the question that they may want to run this all the way down through the 95s. So watching this very carefully to see what we trade. Right now, bottom line is unless Aussie trades back above 9,600, it is really buying a falling knife. There is absolutely nothing here to convince you that there is even a modest bounce here. I would wait to see how will we trade until 9,600 at the very least if you're just bargain hunting early. On the other hand, if there is a sell-through, the sell-through could really test 95s. That's actually quite interesting because 95.25 was sort of like, or I think it was, let me see what it was. I think it was the low, 28. 28 was the low, but 95 is of course a massive, massive round number. There's a tremendous amount of optionality around it. So it could be an interesting battle here that gears up, and if they can run it through, the cascade effect could be pretty serious. That's pretty much how the trading shapes up. A lot of very interesting key levels here to watch today. Obviously, Aussie in the 95s to see how that trades. Obviously, cable right above the highs through the 54s if it can run through those levels, and of course euro to see if it can muster any strength at this point above 3100s, but it doesn't look that way so far. It looks like we're getting rejected at the 3100 for the time being. Wishing you guys the best of luck and the best of trading. This is Boris Schlossberg, over and out.